Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon and lettuce and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you ripe and don't get a hard one. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in the summer. All winter without 'em's a culinary bummer. I forget all about the sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a big homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
Is available here at the food pantry, and I haven't seen any onions here from the garden stuff. But
we've had a lot of onions.
Have you? Well, I haven't seen any, but I brought onions from home to do.
I feel that the meetings have really, well, it's enabled me to listen to other food pantries, which you really don't see unless you have a meeting like that. You don't know what they're doing, or we're all different in our own, ways. We have it 2 days a week. Some only have it once a month, and it's good to know what other pantries are doing.
Good morning. I'm Doris Timko. I'm a nutrition associate for the Eat Well Nutrition Education Program. That's part of the Humane Cooperative Extension's education and outreach in the community. What I do is nutrition education for persons aged 2 through adult, and a huge focus over the last year has been here in the Cherryfield Food Pantry at the Maine Seacoast Mission site. I have sitting here with Jenna Norgard and Joan Hurlbert. Jenna directs the pantry. Joan is a volunteer. Joan has also been an attendee at the nutrition education classes I've held here at the pantry over the summer. Jenna, what can you tell us about our joint experience in the pantry and the nutrition education we've been attempting to?
Well, I think there's definitely made an impact. Number one, when Doris first came, people didn't even want to go to the other end of the food pantry to talk to her. But then we sort of joked with people and said, well, she's got some free recipes. I think that really has, I think their fear of what you're going to do has definitely subsided. And
so you got them involved and somehow began to establish a relationship.
Yes.
Was there any particular trick in establishing that relationship, or did you just wear them down by being here every week?
I think it was part of both.
Combination.
I would come every week and I would prepare a recipe made from food pantry foods, and I would have it available for them to taste or to take home small portions along with the recipe. And as Jenna said, at first it was very difficult to get them to come back to where I was stationed in the back of the pantry. But as I became a familiar face, they became more interested and more eager, and now they act like I work here.
And one thing that I have noticed, just in general in the pantry, people are much more willing. Like I have whole wheat pasta and brown rice. We still get a lot of no's for that, but more yeses than I expected.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm surprised by the people that do want the whole wheat pasta, things that are much healthier. I don't think that would have happened before you started talking about things like that.
Yeah, she's made them aware of the things that they should be eating, and like the recipes that she's been doing. And when she's not here, they'll say when she coming back, and they're so much happier, finding out different things. She's done a real good job. Does a real good job.
I've seen a lot of produce here, and you are a little unique in your campus here. You have a pretty large campus. I think it's 60 acres, isn't it?
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about the origin of some of this produce.
Well, I do a little less than a quarter-acre organic garden just down the road, and the produce comes to the food pantry. And we have a lot of very generous gardeners around, most of them organic actually, and they bring their produce in every summer. So we almost always have produce in the summer. We have it in the winter too, but it's donated from the grocery store. But in the summer we have a lot.
Let me ask you a question. When we first started this project, you hadn't been using the Good Shepherd, and a couple of us made a trip down and brought you a report back. Did that help you when we went down there and told you a little bit more about the Good Shepherd? And has that been beneficial to use the Good Shepherd?
Yes, it has. It's been easier for us to purchase because it's cheaper for us, and where we service so many people, it's easier for us to. Our money goes.
Hi, I'm Nancy LeClaire with the Eat Well Nutrition Education Program, brought to you by University of Maine Cooperative Extension. Today I have a whole wheat noodle casserole here that I've made up for the pantry, and it's from Foods from the Pantry. And this is just one of the many recipes that we've made here, and it's gone over very, very well. Now, not everyone likes everything, that's fine, but it's showing the foods that we have here, whether it's whole wheat, pasta, vegetables in a can or frozen or fresh. We have fresh vegetables here, which is absolutely wonderful. And we just keep talking about things that they can use, and we talk about portions too, because there's some foods that are a little bit higher in fat or salt, or even have extra sugar in it, and we talk about portions. And that seems to go over very, very well with everyone. But it's surprising how when you put a simple recipe together, they go, oh yeah! And it's just wonderful. We've had the relationship with the pantry here has been phenomenal. It really has, and I couldn't ask for a better group to work. And also at the pantries, the connection with the children that I've serviced in the schools here in Washington County, that also is strengthening the relationship between the children and myself, the children and the parents or grandparents.
In the Callis Food Pantry, and although they don't have a large enough building downstairs to be a community center, there is a work in progress upstairs that should be finished in about 2 weeks, where there will be an apartment for people who have an emergency need for housing.
Put them on the side, put them in the middle, put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Now if I was to change this life I lead, well I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed, 'cause I know what this country needs. It's homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden, be much better, and I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.